So we're going to talk about the candidate process, in particular once we get the candidate's number, so their experience, their journey. So we must bear in mind that there's 9 things to gain from a candidate. 6 are compulsory and 3 are additional but very important. So the 3 that are additional are placements. We're not guaranteed to place every single person we get a number from. Leads, we can only get leads from an individual if they're actually looking and interviewing, and backfill. And again, we can only backfill a position if they actually leave their position. The 6 that are non-negotiable that we must get from every single candidate, from every single number that we get, is the flip. Everyone we headhunt should want to work with us, and therefore gives us the power and negotiating rates. And if they're too junior to actually want to work with us, they should recommend us internally to their boss, their director, whoever it may be. Market information intelligence, they should be telling us everything about their market, what's going on, what's going on well, and all the rest of it. That's super important. They need to become a raving fan. They need to be talking about us and how fantastic we are at all times. We need to make that happen. Client mole, they need to be telling us who's leaving, who's unhappy, who's doing what to who, and all of that fantastic things. And referrals, they need to be telling us all their friends. Every single one of their friends should move jobs through us. And then data, top billers, average billers, lowest billers, team performances, all the rest of it. They can give us each and every one of those things. So importantly, to get all this, do the pre-screen, get the rules of engagement, and sell our solution. But bear in mind each one of these 9 things that you want to get from a candidate, or a number rather. So you don't enter a conversation and get 0. Even if the number is not useful, okay, they don't become a placement, they may not give you leads, and they may not be good for a backfill, but you must get the other 6 from them. It's so vital. So first thing we do, we get a number. Let's grade the candidate. Very, very simple. We've all got the grading sheets. If they're an A, let's close the candidate on seeing clients ASAP. We're talking tomorrow, maybe even tonight. Let's see how you feel about it. If they're a B, let's look at the weak spots of the candidate. Let's work on getting them an A. It may be the fact they're in B rather than A because you don't have the information, or certain parts of the information, or maybe they just need to go on a journey with you. If they're a C, we must be getting them to an A. We must be understanding how to get them to that level. Now, I'm never going to say we can't work with B's and C's, but we've got to be clever with it. If they're a 5k fee, then I just don't think it's worth it. If they're a 50k fee, then maybe the financials will make sense to actually take a punt on them. If they're an F, it's dead simple. We're going to end the process. If they're a C and we can't improve them at all, we should be ending the process. But if they're a C, the value's high enough, and they're an A or a B, let's get interviews agreed with in the next 24 hours. So if we can't arrange those interviews, if the answer is no, let's get them into the Pirates WhatsApp. Let's map the markets. Let's reverse engineer the market to be able to get them out there. Who can we get to see them? And if no one still wants to see them, let's end the process there and then. If they do, book in the interview and get prep booked in straight away. Now, if we go back a stage, if they're an A and B, and maybe a very high value C, and we agree to get them in front of clients within 24 hours, and the clients want to see them, well, let's book the interview in straight away and the prep within 24 hours. This, as you can see, is all done on day one, from getting the number to actually booking the interview and the prep. So the prep and the regrade. So obviously you've graded the candidate originally on what they're on their pre-screen, but we all know and get to know our candidates a little bit more, and the more information comes out after. So we prepare the candidate and we find their weak spots. Bear in mind, when we prep a candidate, we mock interview them, we push them, we ask them questions, we push on the billings and all the rest of it. In the pre-screen we push, but not as hard. We're more sympathetic than pushy. So we regrade. If they're an A, move them quickly and keep focus on closing. Keep closing that candidate to make sure we're not losing momentum. If they're a B, we get the candidate up to an A grade and work on where the weaknesses are. If it's significant and the same weaknesses as before, we keep pushing. If we're a C, well, we're concerned why they're still a C and we're not able to get them an A. Maybe we voice this with the candidate as well. And if they're an F, clearly we end the process. There have been candidates in my career where I've had them as A's at first. We've done a pre-screen and a prep. We did a prep rather, and I realised very quickly they're actually an F. So if they're A, B's and C's and we're trying to get them through that food chain all the way to an A, we get them to an interview. The interview occurs, we get the feedback, and we regrade once again. Again, the client is going to give you a huge amount more information from this. So if they're a no, or they're a no from the candidate and or a no from the client, then we do, we go back and we regrade the candidate once more. It's a very simple solution. If they fall as an F because something's been said, or maybe they're not as committed as they said, or whatever it may be, then we look to end the process. Maybe we poorly prepped them. Maybe the client was poorly prepped, something like that. And in which case it can still be a B and a C. If it's a yes from the client and the candidate, then we confirm the next stages. We requalify the package, we pre-close them, we agree a start date already, when can you resign and all the rest of it. These are super important to do, and we manage a counteroffer even after the first stage. It doesn't make a difference whether it's the first stage, second or final. We do all of those time and time again, because it gets easier every time you have that conversation. You don't want to have your hardest conversation to be the last one. So hopefully that cycle will run its course and you'll get an offer. Once the offer is there, it's acceptance or rejected. Now, if it's rejected, we regrade it. We regrade the candidate and we go again. But we must accept the fact that if we're getting a candidate rejecting the offer, we've really not done the stage before, because the stage before really clearly states we manage a counteroffer, we agree a start date, we pre-close, we requalify packages. So the client and the candidate should be very much in the loop and understanding exactly what is going to get offered and how much. And there is a very, very, very weird chance if the offer does get rejected, then it's bizarre, because the reality is here, either the client hasn't listened to your qualification of your package or the candidate hasn't. One or the other, either way, you've messed up. So let's say it is correct, the candidate accepts the offer. Guess what? You've confirmed it 3 times with the client and the candidate. The candidate accepts. The client offers what you want them to offer. Then you manage, you go through the resignation, you get the contract signed, and you remove them from all other processes. Don't keep the other processes going on. You manage the notice period. Again, once they leave, bear in mind, we're not the only ones that have got client moles. We're not the only ones that get referrals. Other X do too, and other businesses too. So this is a really dangerous time. You get that candidate, manage through that notice period. You continuously speak to them every single day. You manage their first week in the job as well. It's not over. People go complacent when they start a new role. You get them managed, you get them working hard, and you manage them through the preparation. But the key thing to understand here and remember here is they are sent within a day to the clients of interviews arranged. Day 2, the prep happens and the interviews occur. And as you can see, this all happens well within an 8 to 10 working day period. Once you manage it properly, it can happen very quickly.